Yo, what's up, everybody, man? It's your guys, Nick Praise, Marcus and Patrick, Water Cooler Talk Podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight is going to be a good one, man. Should the SEC think about get rid of the SEC championship game? Could it potentially happen? We're going to talk about it after the intro. Man, what's going on with my mic? Can you hear me? Right after the intro.
Yep.
Let's go.
Boys and girls of all ages, you're tuned into the Water Cooler Talk Podcast, the biggest podcast in the world. Yeah.
You are now tuned in to Water Cooler Talks, covering everything you love about college football, especially everything going down in the SEC Conference. So, if you love college football, you need to lock in. And now, your hosts, Nick Frazier and Marcus Fitzpatrick.
Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, man, we appreciate y'all so much for joining us around the water cooler tonight, man. My name is Nick Frazier. Another person you hear, I'm going to see him. Tell him who you are, boss man.
Marcus Fitzpatrick, let's go. Let's get it.
Yes. We thank y'all so much for rocking with us here tonight around the water cooler. As always, man, every day, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern, man. We appreciate y'all so much. Tonight, man, we got an interesting topic tonight, man. But before we get started, man, make sure you follow us on Facebook at the Water Cooler Talk Podcast. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at the Water Cooler Talk. Putting this right here, man. Follow us on Twitter at CoolestPod23. Follow us on Twitter at CoolestPod23. And of course, subscribe, like, share, and hit the notification bell button here on YouTube. So you know when we post more videos and when we go live, man, and when we post polls and when we do other things on YouTube, man. We appreciate y'all so much for rocking with us here around the water cooler, man. Auburn basketball is starting at 8 o'clock, so we're gonna try to get this in and get it out right around the time the basketball game starts. So bear with us tonight, man. But this is gonna be an interesting topic tonight. This is gonna be an interesting discussion, and I want to go ahead and get into it. But first, Marcus, how you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. How you?
Man, I'm doing great. Doing great, man. Cannot complain at all, man. Everything is going okay. Just keeping your head above water. Just keeping my head above water. That's all it is. That's all I can do. Marcus, man, let's go ahead and get into this topic, man. This Ross Dellinger report from Yahoo Sports, man, coming out basically saying the SEC and the Big Ten will have total autonomy over the future of the college football playoff moving forward. Basically setting themselves up to kind of almost have a national champion every year, either come from the SEC or the Big Ten. Within that, they've also talked about having the SEC add a ninth conference game to that, basically having 9 conference games play in a 12-game schedule. Which had a lot of people up in arms a little bit. I think a lot of people want to see the ninth game, but the thing that had a lot of people up in arms is the fact that potentially the SEC championship game could be eliminated, and we could see a restructuring of how the SEC weekend is going to go moving forward. So, this discussion tonight, man, is basically us saying if we were in charge of the SEC, if we were the SEC commission, and this new era of college football is moving forward, which potentially could look different for the next 25, 30 years. How would we reimagine this weekend of SEC championships, of the SEC championship? How would it look to us? So I'm gonna start with you, Marcus. I'm gonna ask you this question, man. What would you do if you were SEC commissioner? How would the weekend look? And what would you do to improve
it? Since me as the SEC commissioner, I'm already throwing my weight around. I feel like my product is the best product in the country.
Okay.
So I just have a playoff, like they do in basketball. The first couple teams that have the top teams that have a bye week, while the other teams fight it out. Then the winner move on. So the way conference weekend would look, that would be the start of my playoff. So hey, the extension of football. Since I had the best product, y'all gonna come watch anyway. Only thing that I worry about is, do the rivalry games still mean as much? But you know, as this year has shown, it still gets cracking with the playoffs. So, you know, that's how I would do my SEC weekend.
Okay. All right. So basically you have a SEC playoff for the weekend. So basically, are you saying that there would be multiple games that week played in order to get to a champion?
It'll be multiple games played that week, then the following week
Okay.
until we
So
get to a champion. Like I
so
said,
you
it's gonna be more football.
so okay, so my question, would you have all 16 teams in it, or would you have just a certain number?
Just the winning records.
Just the winning records.
Yep.
Okay. All right. I like that. Okay, I like that, man. Take a look at the chat before we get going, man. Arbor Dad said, "What's going on, Warrior man? Let me know. What's up, my guy? Hope everything's going good with you, man." He said, "I hate to see the SEC championship go, but let's be real. If not for it, we make the playoffs in 2017." Agree. If Auburn doesn't play that, SEC championship game against Georgia in 2017, Auburn would have been in the playoffs.
True.
Auburn would have been in the playoffs because that year Auburn played Georgia, number one team. Then the next week they played. In 2 weeks later they played team, and then the week after that they played Georgia again, the SEC championship game, and lost. If Auburn would have won that SEC championship game, Auburn would have been in the playoff that year, man. I'm just saying. So you got a point there. Without the SEC championship game, Auburn would have been ranked 1 or 2 in the conference and would have probably had one of those buys going in. Auburn Dad, so 23 Georgia goes instead of Bama, which UGA was the real champs and would destroy Michigan. Yeah, he's talking about the year when Florida State didn't get in. That's the year he's talking about.
Yeah, that was our first year.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy.
That was crazy. Yeah,
it was.
What's up, Huggy in the building
himself. Also, the legend of Sweet Sugar Bear Williams is rocking with us, man. What's going on with you, my guy? All good. Shout out to you, Huggy. Appreciate you so much, man. And he said, Marcus, what's going on?
What's up, my guy?
Dad. Speaking to everybody in here, and I got Jonathan Taylor
in the building. War Eagle and Bill Mafia JT in the building.
Shout out to our guy JT, man. War Eagle. All right, man. So I'm gonna just go ahead and get into it, man. I got 3 options. Okay. I got 3 options. I came up with 3 options for if I was in charge of the SEC, if Nicholas Frazier was in charge of the SEC, and Commissioner Frazier, looked at this, and the other conferences ceded authority to me as the commissioner of the SEC, and I got 4 automatic qualifiers into the college football playoff. I thought about this. I actually have like 7 options, but I broke it down to 3 that I think could possibly be interested. Dog, not Eddie.
I tried not to pay attention, but it was JT. Chill out, Bills Mafia, baby. But
yeah. Man, to improve is to change. To be perfect is to change often. Shout out to you, JT, with the Winston Churchill quote, man. Oh man, that's what I'm saying, man. I'm not Eddie Winslow. Good guy. This is funny, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat. We about to get this going. All right, man. Let's go ahead and put it up.
Hey, the funny part about it is nobody understands why that's not a good situation at this point.
Exactly. That's the part. That's the thing. That's what I'm saying. Everybody like, why is that bad? Trust me, it's not good right now in this climate. It's not good. Yeah, not good at all. All right, man. So here we go. Commissioner Frazier, commissioner of the Southeastern Conference, reimagining championship weekend and putting more emphasis on the actual conference itself, the conference races itself. Here are the 3 options that I came up with. Let's start with option 1. Option 1, ladies and gentlemen. Option 1. Keep championship. Keep championship weekend the way it currently is. The top 2 teams in the conference play for the SEC championship trophy. So you know what that means? You don't lose the SEC championship game. You still keep the game at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. True. And you still have the fans of both of those schools travel to Atlanta, which will help build up the economic base for that weekend for the city of Atlanta in that area. And they fight it out to see who will take home the SEC championship trophy.
Who hang the banner?
Who hang the banner? That's what it is. Who hangs the banner? That's what it is. That's literally what it is. So we can go option 1, keep it the way it is. Now, mind you, ladies and gentlemen, I told you I have like 7 options. I had like 7 ideas pop into my head of how this actually could work. And I just broke it down to the 3 that I thought would probably be the best, in my personal opinion. That's option 1. What do you think about option 1, Marcus?
I like option 1. I ain't mad at option 1. I kind of like how it is right now. Okay. So I ain't really mad, but if it does change, I would like to see what the change would be.
Okay, we about to get into it because option 2 is technically different. Option 2, ladies and gentlemen. Option 2. a conference play-in weekend, the conference championship game would be eliminated and replaced with play-in games. With a 9-game SEC schedule, the team that finishes number 1 in the conference will be crowned the SEC champion and receive an automatic bid to the college football playoff. Teams that finish 2nd through 7th place will compete in play-in games to determine who will occupy the 3 spots to represent the SEC in the college football playoff. The play-in games will consist of 2 through 7, 3 through 6, and 4 through 5. So basically, in option 2, it puts more focus and more emphasis on the conference during the season, is what it does. So basically, if you come out number 1,
you're in.
If you come out number 1 in the conference, you are the SEC champion. But we don't play a SEC championship game. We have 3 playing games.
You're in.
And those 3 playing games are between 2 through 7. And those teams play to determine who will occupy those 3 spots going forward, the other 3 spots for the 4 automatic qualifiers in the college football playoff. Marcus, what say you about this?
I like this one too. Okay, all right. You had a lot of time to think this out today, honey.
No, I thought about this. I've been thinking about this for the past 2 weeks.
Okay, all right.
I told you I have
we need to call people.
I told you I have like 7. I have like 7 options. I have like 7
people and pitch this right here. I like
basically, this option right here is kind of an amended option to what they're actually
trying to do.
Yeah, what they're actually trying to do, and make it work. It's what they do. It's what they try to do. So basically, what happens is in this option right here. I mean, in the option that's being approved. I mean, that's being considered. 1 and 2 would actually get the automatic spots, and then 3 through 6 would play for the other 2.
So, question: What if
I already know what you're about to ask because it's already in the chat. So just ask it anyway.
Yeah, go ahead. So what if
at that particular time 1 and 2 doesn't have one? It's 9 conference games. It's an odd number of conference games. So basically, everybody in the conference is not gonna have the same record in the conference. It's basically what's happening because more than likely you're gonna play different teams in the conference. So let's just say, for instance, Auburn plays 9 conference games. So Auburn plays A&M, Tennessee, I don't know, whatever it is, the straight, whatever the schedule is for the conference. Auburn can play that, and if for some reason they do end up tying at the beginning, at the end of the year, that's when you get into what they currently have in the conference now. Basically, win percentage from like opponents, margin of victory from
like somebody gets snubbed. Basically, somebody gets snubbed.
Well, it's gonna happen anyway. It's gonna happen anyway.
All right, somebody gets snubbed. Okay.
It's gonna happen anyway. So what's the difference? That's what people like. Are we trying to find the perfect system, or are we trying to find the most competitive system? Let me know. Let me know now.
Hey, well, this one right here, they still got an opportunity, I would say, with the play-in versus losing out completely on the playoff.
And with the attention of the college football playoff being more seemingly to be more important nowadays, you now have a chance of actually having more people get into the college football playoff from your conference and play. So if you don't win the SEC, guess what? You still got a chance to get in and play for the national championship.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
I like option 2 because this is the option that I was speaking on yesterday. If it's so like this, I feel like Hugh Freeze has no excuse why he can't make the playoff.
Yeah, because in this particular option, you now only have to make it into the 7th and to be one of the top 7 teams.
And the option that they really trying to trying to enforce coming up in 2026 is similar to this, and that's the reason why I said, like, if he can't get in the top 6 or 7, what is he good for?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So this is the thing. This is the thing right here, bro. What you need to realize is I don't care about the championship trophy. In these scenarios, I don't care about the championship trophy. Some people still do.
Nobody gonna care about it at this point.
Some people still do. And what we have to understand is what we have exactly. Lane Kiffin even said, why do I even want to win my conference?
Yeah, you're gonna be like Lane Kiffin.
So what you have to understand is because of what we have created with this college football playoff and with getting into the playoff and having an opportunity to play for the national championship, low-key bowl games don't matter anymore because you see teams opting out of bowl games. And then you even saw what Cam Ward did this year, playing like the first 7 minutes of the bowl game and didn't play no more, or like the first half or whatever it was and didn't play no more. So the importance to these teams are we need to get into the college football playoff. That's where we want to be because we want to compete for the trophy. So in the back of your mind, ladies and gentlemen, please understand that this is without regard to the SEC champion. It doesn't matter anymore. This is more focused on the SEC race itself and seeing who will actually compete for the 4 spots. So in this option, all you have to do is just get into the top 7. That's it. Get into the top 7 for an opportunity to play to get one of the 3 spots.
I like it because it's easy. It should be easy for my team to do this.
Yeah, that's what it is. For everybody in the SEC, basically what this basically says is if you can finish in the top half of the SEC, you can potentially you can have a play-in to get into the college football playoff. That's what this is saying. That's what it's saying. That's all it's saying. All right.
So what's option 3?
Option 3 is probably my favorite one out of all of them.
Okay.
Because
my favorite.
Okay, that's fine. That's cool. Option 3 is probably my favorite out of all. It may be a little more complicated, and to some people it may not be complicated. But to me, option 3 may be a little bit more complicated. But in option 3, you get more competitive games.
Okay.
And let's just put it up. All right. Here we go. Option 3, ladies and gentlemen. Option 3. Let me take this down so you can read it. Okay. And let me change it. Let me change this. Here we go. Hold up. There we go. So option 3 is a season tournament. Option 3. The 16-team SEC conference will be divided into 4 divisions. Each division will consist of 4 teams from the North, South, East, and West divisions. With a 12-game schedule, 11 games will be conference games, and the non-conference game will be against an opponent of similar competitive advantage. Very ambiguous. The winners of the divisions will qualify for the 4 automatic spots to represent the SEC in the college football playoff. Now, at the bottom, I put an addendum. Here's the addendum. To crown the champion, the number 1 seed by record will be crowned SEC champion or a SEC tournament style bracket between the 4 division winners to determine the SEC champion. So basically, 1 will play 4, 2 will play 3, and then the next weekend after that, whoever are the winner of those 2 games will play each other for the SEC championship trophy. If you just want to have an SEC championship game.
Okay.
Just saying.
That's gonna be a very intense schedule. Wow. That's all I say.
I mean, what's the difference? You want competitive football, right? You want it, right?
That's that 2020 schedule.
You want competitive football. You want to do you I mean, a lot of people tired of seeing Mercers. They tired of seeing Alabama A&Ms. No disrespect to these schools. They tired of seeing this. You want to see those competitive games, right? So why not just have it? Why not just do this?
Hey, actually, I'm a fan of having HBCUs play bigger teams. I went to an HBCU. Hey, it's a money grab at the end of the day.
Of course it is. That's exactly what it is. I'm not look. And that's just
shout out to them giving HBCU some money.
I'm just saying. I'm not disagreeing with you there. I'm not disagreeing with you there. It does help the athletic department. But in the words of Coach Prime, when he was at Jackson State, he was like, why would you play that game if you're not going to be compensated correctly for it?
True.
So there's push and pull there. Now, if you want to see the divisions, these are what the divisions would look like. So the divisions would be, the North Division would be Missouri, Kentucky, Vanderbilt, and Tennessee. The South Division would be Ole Miss, Mississippi State, LSU, and Alabama. The West Division would be Texas A&M, Arkansas, Oklahoma. And the East Division would be Auburn, Georgia, South Carolina, and Florida. So basically, how this would work, how would the schedule work? You play a conference game. Go ahead.
So you got us in a gangster division, boy. That division that's gonna be tough.
It's geographically is the way the SEC looks right now. This is geographically how it should be set up.
It'll be so
you could potentially put Oklahoma. You could potentially put Oklahoma in the North Division or the West Division, just depending on how it looks. But geographically, this is probably the best way it was set up to look. I'm just being honest. Just from the way it looks. So how would scheduling work in a 12-game conference? In a 12 game schedule with 11 games being SEC conference games. Let's just take Auburn, for example. Auburn will play Georgia, South Carolina, and Florida in their division. Okay. They will actually play them twice in their division.
So basically, a fail type style.
Basically.
Just with SEC games.
Basically. So they will play them twice in their division, home and away games each year. So that's 6 games for Auburn already. And then they will play one team out of the South. That's 7. One team out of the West. One team out of the North. That's 10. And then a classic rivalry game from another team in the division. So Auburn could play LSU, or Auburn could play Tennessee, or Auburn could play Arkansas. So a make-believe schedule could be this. Auburn could be this. Auburn could look like this. Auburn will play Georgia, South Carolina, Florida twice a year. Home and away. A home and home series every year. Then every year, Auburn will play Alabama. Auburn will play Tennessee. Auburn will play Arkansas. That's 9. That's 9 games. Then Auburn will play LSU. And then Auburn could play either Vanderbilt or Auburn could play Texas A&M. Or they can just flip-flop between those schools, because the classic rivalries, you can have Auburn and you can have Auburn. Of course, you have Auburn playing Alabama every year, and that'll be back and forth. That'll be home and away. And then in that division, and then you can have Auburn playing Arkansas every year, and that will be home and away every year as well. So that's what it would look like. And then you would have another game against a, what was the word that I used?
Competitive advantage. A similar competitive
advantage. It's very ambiguous. It's a very ambiguous word. Ambiguous is very ambiguous, because what is similar competitive advantage? Litigiously, it could be whatever you want it to be. Technically. So technically, Auburn can go out and play South Alabama if they wanted to, because it's a competitive advantage. They both FBS schools. Auburn can go out and play a Mercer if they wanted to, because technically they're both in that division, in that same division. Auburn can go out and play another Big 10 or a Big 12 or an ACC school if they want to schedule that, because they're similarly competitive advantage. So the thing is, that part right there is very ambiguous. But what's not ambiguous is that these teams would play 11 conference games. Marcus, you look confused. I think Marcus froze up on us, ladies and gentlemen. He did. So, I mean, ladies and gentlemen, here's the thing. Those are the options that I came up with. It may be confusing to y'all. It may look different. But we are in an era to where we don't know what this potentially could look like. So I just threw some stuff out there. I just thought about it and I just threw some stuff out there. I want to see what y'all saying in the comments though. Let's go ahead and let's take a look at it. Travell came in and said, man, what if 1 and 2 have the same record? That won't work. Next option 2 sucks. Okay, what's your option? Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Travell said option 1 is better than option 2 so far, in my opinion. Okay, that's fine. That just looks confusing. I told you option 3 was going to probably be the most confusing out of everybody to understand. But I can go over it again. Similar competitive advantage does not. How does that work though? And how is it determined? I think I mentioned it a little bit, but we can go back over it. And if you want to go back over option 2, just say so. Warrior, shout out to King Richard, man. Huggy Beard King, what's up, man? I've been working on a 72 team, 2 conference layout. King, hey, if you've been working on a 72 team, man, please let us know, man, because I definitely want to see that. I want to see exactly how that would look. And I'm guessing the 72 team would be for all of college football. I'm talking about just the SEC championship weekend right now. But if you've been working on one, let me know. Let me see how that. Let us see how that looks. What happened? What's happening, Huggy? Hope all is good, man. What's going on with you, my guy? He said option 2, last one, too much for my mind to handle. It's all good, Auburn. It's good. It's good. Let's see. Option 3 is deadly to us. He said Marcus ain't confused, he just frozen. He said Marcus didn't freeze. He's like mind blown. That's what it is. All right, let's see what he said. He said option 3 greatly decreased the amount of teams making the playoffs because the records will be worse. Well, no, it won't. It won't decrease the teams making the playoffs because the teams that win their divisions will automatically have those 4 automatic spots to the college football playoff. That's the point of the divisions. So within the divisions, whoever wins the North, whoever wins the West, whoever wins the South, whoever wins the East. That's why they play each other twice. You know what I'm saying? They'll play each other twice, and then the tiebreakers will be between games that they've played against each other. So yeah, this is. I just let me try to connect everything together. So
it's a lot to connect.
It is a lot to connect. So let me try to connect everything together for everybody. Let me try to connect everything together, and let me try to simplify it. The college football playoff is for all teams. That's the SEC, Big 10, Big 12, ACC, and Group of 5. What I'm proposing here is just for the SEC conference. These are just the options that I thought of. These are just 3 of the options that I thought of for the SEC conference. And so option 3 here, what I'm saying, the SEC, with the way the framework is set up now for the SEC and the Big 10, is that the SEC and the Big 10 automatically gets, from the memorandum of understanding, is automatically going to get 4 automatic spots in the college football playoff. ACC and the Big 12 are going to get 2. The Group of 5 will get 1. Notre Dame will get 1 as well. So that's 8, 12, 13, 14. That's 14 teams. So what I'm proposing here, what I'm saying, if I was in charge, everything I'm saying is just for the SEC conference. And so with option 3, basically what you would have is you would have these 4 divisions split into 4, and then each division winner will get one of those 4 automatic spots to the college football playoff. Is what I'm saying. And each division, all teams will play each other. Twice. So you would have a home and away, and then you would play 2 teams from each division, from each other division. So Auburn, so just a fictitious schedule. Auburn will play Georgia home and away each year. Auburn will play South Carolina home and away each year. And Auburn will play Florida home and away each year. That's 6 games. Then Auburn will play Alabama either at home or away that one season. Auburn will play Tennessee home or away that season. And then Auburn will play Arkansas home or away that season. That's 9 conference games. And then all we need is 2 more conference games. So basically, at that particular time, you can have an Auburn LSU game, which is another rivalry that Auburn has. You can have an Auburn Texas A&M game. That's another rivalry that Auburn kind of has. You can have an Auburn Vanderbilt. It's just having those 11 conference games, and then that 12th game of the season is similar competitive advantage, whatever that is, however you want to operationalize that moving forward is what it would be. So it could be what we consider to be an easier game for them and stuff like that. But it is what it is. And it's kind of similar to the NFL model a little bit.
Yeah, I see that, Commish.
It's similar to the NFL model within the SEC. And so the winner of these divisions, those winners will have the 4 automatic spots that the SEC has to the college football playoff. And as I stated before, the SEC champion is not something that I'm really hung up on, if you ask me. Or let me say this: the SEC championship game is something that I'm not really hung up on. If I'm being honest, I don't have a problem with the SEC championship game going away. Some people feel like the SEC championship game should be around. But when you reimagine things and you look at things differently, there is a world where the SEC championship game is not involved in it at all. It doesn't have to be played. It could just be the winner of the SEC. Whoever wins the conference is just the SEC champion, and then that gives you an extra week or 2 weeks of rest before you start playing the college football playoff games. That's what it is. Hopefully I explained it a little bit better this time. And hopefully it's understandable and digestible.
It's still went over the head.
No, I ain't gonna say it went over the head. If it is, man, look, trust me. It's like I said, I enjoy this stuff and I enjoy piecing stuff together and trying to understand stuff. So and just putting something out there that people can debate. That's all it is. That's just how it is. It's not perfect and things and stuff like that. It's not something that there's never gonna be a perfect situation and things like something like that. But it is something that can start a debate. And maybe it's something that can be a framework for something moving forward. So it is what it is. Let's take a look and see what's going on. He said he Hugh Freezed.
So I knocked out the Wi-Fi on me. JT, I already know what happened. I was like, hey.
He says you Hugh Freezed, man. That's what he said. He said, "Oh, I didn't realize the four got automatic spots." Yeah. So basically, the memorandum of understanding right now basically states that the SEC and the Big Ten get those 4 automatic spots in the college football playoff. He said Notre Dame doesn't deserve one every year. Shout out to Auburn Dad. Yeah, I think it's more of the fact if Notre Dame finishes within the top 14, then they will be guaranteed a spot in the college football playoff, from what I'm saying. So what is the tournament of 4 SEC teams? I'm so lost. Okay, so let me go back to it. So option 3. So down here at the bottom, like I stated, I put an addendum right here. Let me see if I can make this bigger. I'm gonna just make this bigger. So I put an addendum right here at the bottom. I said to crown a champion, the number 1 seed by record will be crowned SEC champion or SEC tournament style bracket between the 4 division winners to determine an SEC champion. So if we just want to have an SEC game, an SEC championship game, if we just want to have one, then we can have this SEC style tournament. Well, one would go against 4, 2 would go against 3, and then the winner of that game will play each other for the SEC championship. If you just want to have a game to where we just want to give somebody a SEC championship trophy and just have a game for it. And like I stated before, I'm okay with not having a game. I'm okay with just saying, look, the conference race is more important because we have more conference games. We had more parity in the conference because we had more teams playing each other, and those teams playing each other, we saw more of how you can have a harder strength of schedule. You have it to where these teams are playing each other, and you see in the conference who's actually good and things of that nature. So I mean, it's just the addendum down here at the bottom when you ask about the tournament, the 4 SEC tournament you so lost, is you don't have to have the tournament. That's why I put an addendum there saying if you just want to have a game to play to have somebody win the trophy, then we can have this SEC style tournament for option 3. But technically, for me, I don't have to have it in them. I can just have the SEC championship tournament during the season, and whoever is the winner at the end of the 12 games and has the winning record from the 11 SEC games is the SEC champion for the SEC conference. And then the winners of those and the winners of these 4 divisions right here, those 4 would be the 4 automatic qualifiers for the college football playoff. Hopefully it makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense. Let's see. Is it just for bragging rights? What you mean? What you mean, JT? Let me know what you mean. Let's see. I don't want to play each other. I don't want to play each team twice. Hard enough.
I know, right? Harvin, Dad, I'm with you.
Man, look, it's football. The NFL does it. Shoot, what's wrong with it? What's wrong with college football doing? I'm just being honest. What's wrong with college football doing? Hey, unless you just want to have, unless you play everybody in your division. And see, this is what I'm talking about. This is the type of debate that I'm having. You know, a lot of people are saying this, and I like this. So this is the type of debate that we're having right now. He's saying he doesn't want to play everybody twice. Okay, let's talk about it. So basically, Auburn would play everybody in their division: Georgia, South Carolina, and Florida. So if they beat everybody in their division, if they go 3-0 in their division, guess what? Auburn wins the East. So we will relatively know soon enough who's the winner of each division. And then that's 3 games, but now you have 7 more games that you have to play against other teams in other divisions to determine who's the winner. But the thing about option 3 is option 3 breaks them down into 4 separate divisions to determine who's going to be the winner of that division to get one of those spots in the playoff. So playing each other twice, and this is just me thinking, playing each other twice determines, okay, you won a division because you played those teams twice. You played that team twice in a year. So basically, yeah, you won a division. It's just like the NFC South, the NFC East, the NFC North, NFC West. Same thing. It's basically the same thing. It's and like JT said, NFL hashtag college football. That's basically what it is. It's just NFL light. That's all it really is. If you think about it.
I see.
Let's see. Fresh Bowl comes in and says, we need to win the SEC championship. All right.
Indeed.
All right. That's
before
fine.
they take it away.
But this is my question though. Are we saying we need to win the SEC championship game, or do we just need to win the SEC championship?
We need to hang the banner, whatever that consists of.
Okay. So basically, we just need to win the SEC championship, is what you're saying. So basically, we don't have to have a game.
However you want to see it. Okay. I want to see Auburn at the top. That's what I want to see.
I got you. Auburn has said, more we play SEC teams, more beat up we get. Whereas other conferences have 2 teams, mostly the good, so they'll have easier time against beat up SEC in the playoffs with option 3. I mean, okay. I mean, I feel where you're coming from. I feel where you're coming from, Auburn Dad. I'm not against it. Like I said, this is a debate starter. This is definitely a debate starter. I mean, like I said, it's not perfect, and this is just something that I thought of. It's probably they probably won't even see this. They probably won't even think about it. But you know, it's just something to think about. It is something to think about. But I will say this though. If the SEC were to do this, I would not be surprised if other conferences had some type would mimic what the SEC does. Because even though the SEC and the Big Ten have this, this autonomy over college football, it's really the SEC calling the shots. Just to be completely honest with you, that's really what's happening. So if whatever way the SEC goes, college football is gonna go. So if the SEC did decide to do option 3 that I put up, I wouldn't be surprised if other conferences did the same thing in their conferences in some type of way, had divisions like that as well. Instead of just having two divisions, they'll split it up evenly between. I believe the Big Ten would probably do 4 divisions, but the ACC and the Big 12 would probably stay at 2 just to make it work. So it's just interesting to see. JT said, "Oh, I get it now." I think, yeah, no problem, man, no problem. Yes, sir. Fresh Bowl said, "We need to win the SEC and everything going to work out." I feel you, man. I agree. Auburn needs to win the SEC, but this is the thing. I'm gonna ask you this question: out of those three options, which option do you think benefits Auburn the most?
Out of those 3,
yeah,
option 2.
So option 2, you said benefits Auburn the most because of the fact all Auburn has to do is just be one of the top 7 teams. Is what you're saying?
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Be the top 7 team and then be a Cinderella story and win a big game. You win the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Which, like they pitched early on Yahoo Sports, they said that it's gonna look close like this. So that's why I'm saying, Hugh Freeze, hey, this is your time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, according to what they said on Yahoo, this is what it's supposed to look close to what it's gonna look like.
Yeah, I agree with you here, man. 9 conference games, 12-game season, 9 conference games. Just being able to get in the top 7, which is basically the top half of the conference. If you're able to get 7 spots in the conference, then Auburn should be able to be in the conversation of competing to get into the college football playoff. So I understand where you're coming from. With that. And I actually agree with you. Option 2 probably is the easiest path for Auburn. But I love option 3. I enjoy option 3 just because of the fact that you get a lot more competitive football throughout the year, and it's a season tournament, in my personal opinion.
They don't need a championship.
The thing is, do you have to have a championship game? It's not the championship, it's the game itself. Do you need a championship game? Do you need an SEC championship game? Honestly, if the competition during the year is enough, and you win your conference during the year, do you need a championship game to determine an SEC champion, just who gets the trophy?
It be depending. Like if I'm number 2 going into that SEC championship game, I want that game.
Wow.
If I'm number 1, if I'm number 1, it's like, why we gotta play? So
to be honest, that's how it is in college basketball. The SEC basketball tournament is just somebody to get the SEC tournament championship. That's all it is. The winner of college basketball.
I said that's how my playoff would look.
The winner of the college basketball SEC regular season trophy is the team that won the SEC during the regular season. So basically, what I just proposed is basically just having the regular season conference race matter a lot more than what it actually does now. Because if it doesn't, use it like you stated earlier, you have people like Lane Kiffin saying, "Do I even really need to win my conference?"
I can't wait to see what the structure look like. But
I can't wait either. I can't wait either to see what it looks like either, man, because it's gonna be interesting to see what they do and how it works out. But I'm.
But like I said, check back in with me when I see how good Auburn doing. If we number 1, I'm like, man, I don't want to play the SEC championship because I don't want nobody to get hurt. I don't want to lose. I don't want to risk my record. But if we number 2, and I want to go be number 1, I want to play that game. So it's just like it depends on where you at that part of the season for me.
Okay. All right. I feel what you're saying, man. Auburn dad comes in and said, man, even if they all did option 3, our conference would have to be SEC like teams. Other conferences would have to be SEC like teams. Yeah, I mean,
in college football. Outside of the Big Ten, I think everybody else will start drowning if we made ourselves that self-sufficient.
But this is the thing, though. It's based on the number of automatic qualifiers that's going in. So basically, option 3 of the 4 divisions will only work for the SEC and the Big Ten. And then at that time, the Big Ten would probably have to add 2 more schools to even it out at five teams per conference. Because I think they only got 18 in the conference. I think they only have 18 teams in the conference in the Big Ten right now. And then the Big 12 and the ACC would just keep it at, 2 conferences, East and West, however they want to do it, for the simple fact of the matter that they're only getting 2 automatic qualifiers. So that's how that will look to them. And they can have, and those 2 conferences could have a championship game to determine who could be the champion, because they only have 1 and 2. Even though those 1 and 2 would be automatic qualifiers, they can just have a championship game just to be like, all right, here's a championship trophy if they want to. It's different ways of looking at it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just one guy. I just thought about this. This just came out of my small head. That's all it is. And
so Chris, get up out of here. Well, I kind of feel where you already going, but SEC championship or no SEC championship game or no SEC championship game?
I already said it. I don't care about the SEC championship game.
It's a yes or no, Nick. You can't say you don't care. Yes or no.
That answers my question. No, I don't care if there's an SEC championship game. It doesn't bother me. Because what it does is this is what it does. If you have more emphasis on the actual race in the SEC. So option 2, if you have more emphasis on teams trying to be like, all right, I want to get, for example, all right, let's look at this. Let's say Auburn right now. I think all of us would say Auburn has a top 3 to 4 roster in college football in the SEC right now. Probably top 3 roster in the SEC. All right. Let's look at a team like Arkansas. Okay. Arkansas can sit there and be like, look, yeah, would we like to win the SEC? Yeah, we would like to be, maybe we would like to be SEC champion. We would like to be SEC champions. But guess what? If we can just finish in the top 7, that gives us a chance. That gives us a chance to play a team to get one of those other 3 spots to get into the college football playoff. So you have teams whose rosters are kind of like on the verge of being like, you can look at them and be like, it can teeter either way. It can teeter one way. It can teeter the other way. You look at that and they're like, all right, I may not be good enough to win the actual championship, but I know my team is good enough to get into one of those games to be able to play to get one of those automatic spots. So you're trying to win games. You're trying to win your SEC games to solidify yourself in one of those 2 through 7 spots if you use option 2. So the race in the SEC, in my opinion, is more valid than actually trying to win the SEC trophy. Because if you're trying to win the SEC trophy, if you're trying to win the SEC trophy, that means that one team in the way it's set up is automatically qualified. But what if there's another team in another conference who has a better record than you, or multiple teams in other conferences that have a better record than you that potentially could get in before you? Does that make sense?
Kind of. You kind of confusing me at the end.
I'm saying if there are other teams in other conferences that have a better record than you, right? Without and the way I'm thinking about this in my head, without having the automatic qualifiers. Because if you don't have the automatic qualifiers, then everybody's chasing to get one of those top 2 spots, because if you go to the championship game, if you win, you're automatically in. But then normally the loser is probably more likely going to get into the playoff. That's how it's set up now.
Yeah.
But with these 4 automatic spots, all you have to do is just be able to get through 2 through 7 and have an opportunity to play to get one of those 3 spots. So that's the reason why I say this right here is going to be more effective when it comes to the championship races, instead of just trying to get to a game. It's more beneficial to the teams in the league too as well, because if your roster is not as good as other teams in the conference, you can be like, all right, I can at least play my way into at least a 5 or a 6 spot, and I know I have an opportunity to play for a spot to get into the champion into the playoff. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get you. Now.
All right, just saying, I just want to make sure everybody understands what I'm saying, because sometimes in my head it be coming out the way I be thinking. So that's what it is. That's what it is. Huggy said, I vote SEC championship stays. All right, he vote for option 1. All right, then.
I'm gonna lean with her. Yeah, I agree with option 1. I think.
Okay, Marcus, which one do you agree with? Because at first,
I like option 2. I like option 2 because it made my team. For my team, no. For my team, I made it specific. For my team, option 2 is great.
Nah, at first you said a play-in game. You said a play-in weekend.
You said no. You said how I see it.
No. I asked you. I said, how would you do it?
Yeah, if I control it, yeah, it'll be how the basketball is.
So it'd be a play-in weekend. Okay.
It'd be a tournament.
Okay. All right.
It'd be a tournament format for the SEC, and then whoever win out play in the SEC championship game.
Okay. All right. Gotcha.
Yeah, like you said earlier about the basketball, it's just it's about that banner, baby.
All right, I hear you. The risk of injury or loss is part of the game of football itself. Very true.
I agree, Hagen.
Very true. Hallbone comes in, man. Shout out to I got Hallbone. He said rosters are going to have to get deep to make it through 17, 18 games. If we keep adding, that will weed out lesser money NIL programs. That's what they're doing now. That's exactly what they're doing. That's exactly what they're doing now. They're weeding out lesser money, lesser teams that can't compete in NIL. So basically, what we're going to see in this, what we're going to see with the SEC and the Big Ten getting automatic qualifiers is you're more than likely going to see the same teams every year from those two leagues, or a combination of those same teams every year being in the playoff and having the best chance of winning. That's what's happening right now. So basically, it's you just got to work with what the framework around what they're actually doing and to better insulate themselves of having the best chance of winning. Because who's to say? Oh, I tell you right now, Ohio State, Oregon, Penn State, and Michigan are more than likely going to be the same 4 teams, or a combination of those 4 will be in the playoff for the Big Ten every single year. Texas, Georgia, LSU, Alabama, Auburn. 5. Those 5 teams at some point in time for the next year, for the next foreseeable future, there'll be some type of mixture in there where those 5 teams will be in there every single year in the playoff. So I'm telling you, man, that's what they're doing. They're weeding out the lesser programs. They're weeding them out. That's what's happening. He said freshmen don't know about playing hurt with soft tissue injuries over proper injury. They haven't learned to play hurt. They haven't learned to play hurting, especially that first year. Very true. Very true. Soft tissue injuries, they do hurt, but you can still play. You can still play. My personal opinion. Ladies and gentlemen, man, those are the options that I came up with. Option 1, let's go through them again. Keep the championship weekend the same. Nothing changes. Option 2, you have a play-in weekend with 9 conference games in the SEC. The team that finishes 1 in the conference championship race will be crowned the SEC champion and have that automatic bid to the college football playoff. And the teams that finish 2nd through 7th will compete in the play-in games to determine who will occupy the other 3 spots to represent the SEC in the college football playoff. And those play-in games will be 2 through 7, 3 through 6, and 4 through 5. That's option 2. And then option 3 is NFL Light. It's a season tournament. 16 teams, 16 SEC conference, 16 SEC, a 16-team SEC conference. That will be divided into 4 divisions. Each division will consist of 4 teams from the north, south, east, and west. With a 12-game schedule, 11 games will be conference games, and the non-conference game will be against an opponent of similar competitive advantage. Very ambiguous. I put it that way for a reason. The winners of the division will qualify for the 4 automatic spots to represent the SEC in the college football playoff. And then if we just want to have an SEC championship game, at the bottom we have an SEC style tournament to where one would play 4, 2 would play 3, and the winner of those games will play each other for the SEC championship trophy. And then this is what the divisions would look like. This is what the divisions would look like. The North Division, Missouri, Kentucky, Vanderbilt, Tennessee. The South Division would be Ole Miss, Mississippi State, LSU, Alabama. The West Division would be Texas A&M, Arkansas, and Oklahoma. And then the East Division would be Auburn, Georgia, South Carolina, and Florida. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Very thought-provoking. I hope it's something that you all. I hope it's something that just, it's just a framework. There's nothing perfect about it. Nothing perfect about it at all. That's it. And King Richard, I know you said you was working on the 72 team 2 conference.
Shout out King Richard.
Shout out to King Richard. You're working on the 72 team.
Shout out St. Hall as well.
2 conference tournament. Let us know when you get that one right, because I definitely want to hear that one, because that one sounds very interesting. Very interesting. So let us know, man. We appreciate y'all so much, man, for rocking with us here tonight, man. Arbor Dad comes in and said, man, great show, thought-provoking for sure, fellas. Man, we appreciate y'all so much, man. Huggy Beard said, man, here's how it should be. Okay, here go Huggy Beard. He said 4 5-team divisions. Okay. 2 divisions. Champs get a bye. The 2 other division champs and the next 2 teams by record play in round 1. The winners play the other 2 teams. So basically what the NFL is doing now. That's what it sounds like. I think that's what it sounds like. That's exactly what it sounds like. I'm not mad at that. Not mad at that at all. War Eagle, man, play the song, Adam. In round two, then the SEC championship game. Okay, so basically going back to this, round 2 would be the SEC championship game. I think that's what you're saying. All right. Okay, cool. Let's see. Seahawk, what's up, man? What's up? Appreciate that, man. Let's see. What's up? Yeah, we'll do. Yeah, please let us know, man, because I definitely want to hear that one. That one sounds very intriguing, bro. That one sounds really intriguing. The 72 team, 2 conference one. I'm definitely hearing that. Sham God, what's up, man? Great show, guys. Appreciate you, my guy, for listening in with us, man. King Richard, man, he said great show. Listening, but working on the layout. Yes, sir. Let us know when it's ready, man. I know. Take time to get it right. I just put the framework out there. I didn't go into detail, even more detail. I could have went into more detail. I just put the framework out there on what I had. It is what it is, man. Yes, sir. We appreciate y'all so much, man. Marcus, what you got to say to people before we get up out of here, boss?
Hey, man, y'all be blessed. I'll see y'all Friday. Turn up with my boy Nick tomorrow. Hey, y'all stay safe.
Yes, sir. Daryl said good stuff, man. We appreciate you, Daryl. Thank you so much for rocking with us, man. Ladies and gentlemen, Auburn and Arkansas is getting ready to tip off in about the next 5 minutes. So make sure you have your TVs turned to ESPN. That game is going to be going on, man. Auburn, Arkansas basketball at Neville Arena. Auburn will be playing. And we will be I'm getting ready to go ahead and watch it right now, man. And we'll see y'all tomorrow, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern, man. We'll be talking some more of this stuff, man. We're talking some more SEC and Auburn stuff, man. And we appreciate y'all so much. All hearts and minds are clear, ladies and gentlemen. As always, y'all have a good one. Better yet, y'all have a great one. As always, y'all be blessed, man. And until tomorrow, we'll see you. As always, one love. And guess what? We out this mug.
Boys and girls of all ages, you're tuned into the Water Cooler Talk podcast, the biggest podcast in the world. Yeah.
Make sure you like, subscribe, share, and hit the notification bell so you know when we post more videos and go live.